In this video, we're unboxing this espresso machine from Maxim de Paris. Hi and welcome. My name is Patrick Rolfe and this is Coffee with April. For this video, as per always, we're doing things a little bit differently. For the first time in the history of this kind of channel, we're doing a little bit of an unboxing video. This is going to be, let's say, an espresso video divided into two different videos. One where we actually unbox this machine, talk a little bit about the details of it because I never actually seen it, so I'm quite curious. And two, we're going to do a second video that we're going to launch after that's going to be focused on how are we actually using it. So I've been talking about for a long time that we should do more espresso related content here at the channel. One, because I'm really into espresso in general. Competing, brewing, all of it, right? So I want to try to discover and understand more about it. And a big part of that is understanding espresso machines. And the home brewing machines are kind of interesting. We can say that I'm kind of on a personal journey to figure out is there a machine that I would ever put at home, maybe, because I currently don't have an espresso machine at home. So we're starting here, and this machine, full transparency, was sent to us. Someone asked us if we wanted to have a closer look at it. I said, sure, why not? We asked for two so we could give them to our Patreons. So both of these machines are disappearing after we're kind of done testing and playing with them, right? I've tuned into a few different YouTube channels as well to see a little bit more background info on this machine. The machine comes from Maxim de Paris. The name is Seine X. Not really sure what that means. But it's quite interesting, and I've heard some pretty interesting things about this machine. Like we're talking calibrated grinder, we're talking grind by weight, grind by time, we're talking dose stops pretty much. It regulates the amount of volume. So this is kind of high tech, I believe, right? So that's why I'm a little bit curious to see what's on the inside. I even heard they have this steam wand that actually measures the milk temperature with using infrared, which is also kind of interesting, right? And it's kind of cool to see when slightly larger brands are going in doing pretty high-tech stuff, right? So I'm gonna probably a little bit clumsily open up this whole box and we're just gonna see what's on the inside more or less. And so the machine weighs about 16 kilos, so it's maybe not the lightest espresso machine in the world. But we're gonna kind of take it layer by layer and see what we can get out of it, right? So first of all, it came very well packaged, which I guess is important. This was a box inside of another big box with a bunch of foam and everything. Top layer, okay. So lifting this out, where are we here? Okay, so it looks like we have a portafilter, which is always good to have when we brew espresso. And here we have a naked portafilter. It looks pretty fancy, pretty solid kind of wood handle, which is nice as well. We're taking that out for now. And here we have what looks like baskets. So I think this is one of the main things that we see kind of distinguish home brewing espresso machines versus more professional machines. And that's basically the general idea of baskets, right? So the style of baskets that we see here that are not actually 100% kind of smooth, even though no basket really is, apart from maybe the Weber baskets. But when you see these more kind of old school baskets, definitely not optimal for extraction, right? That can be one of the things to say just kind of off the back of this. The basket that was kind of in the portafilter from the beginning, obviously the larger one, but also like a more traditional kind of shape to it. So I'll be quite curious when we start brewing how that will actually brew up, but it's something that is definitely worth testing. Here we have something that is not a basket. Okay, so this looks kind of like a Weber dosing tool-ish. Yep, flips on pretty good. There's a little bit of magnetic, so I guess this is to have a slightly cleaner workflow. This is already kind of cool that, a brand they're clearly watching and they're looking at what other people are doing. Which is nice. Here we have something else which looks like a cleaning brush, which, to be fair, gets really important when it comes to any kind of espresso machine, right? Cleanliness matters 100%. A dirty machine will make dirty coffee. It's very simple. So you want to make sure that everything is just as clean as possible pretty much all the time. So that's cool to see as well. We also see a little bit of a box here. I really don't speak any French. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. So a little bit of bag, looks like a coffee bag, but it's clearly not coffee in it. This is like a little rubber seal gasket pretty much for the machine, which is nice. I'm wondering if these are like spare parts or something I'm supposed to like install myself. Some small screws and stuff like that. This is a bit of an interesting one actually. Let's see if we can unbox this. Looks pretty fancy, but I'm pretty sure I know what this is. So this, I'm gonna bet, is a distribution tool. Let's see if we screw it open, I guess. Yeah. So a little kind of handheld distribution tool. This is to take away any kind of major clumps or something like that in your portafilter, which, to be fair, depending on the grind quality of this grinder, so it's a built-in grinder in the espresso machine, that much I know. And I also know that it's conical bursts. So it's going to be interesting. We might actually need this. So I'm going to keep this. Then we have what is clearly some kind of instruction manual, which we're not going to unpack now because maybe we don't even need it. Let's see. So on to the kind of next layer. And I guess here it's where it gets a little bit messy. We have a cable that we need to move. We'll see if we can pull this up. Here we go. We're moving this over a little bit as well. Okay, so more stuff. It looks like we have one more portafilter. Is that right? Okay. So the machine actually have two portafilters. That's kind of fancy. And I can tell that this is more of a traditional one. Yes, so this is actually not a naked portafilter, right? I can see it's the same size basket, which is kind of cool. I actually haven't looked at the diameter of this yet, but since I'm standing here behind the Lama Socco anyway, let's just... okay, so this solves all the problems, right? So a 20 gram BST widgelet basket kind of pops straight in, so that's perfect. We're definitely gonna give these baskets a chance as well with this machine, as I'm pretty sure they're gonna be quite a lot better than the baskets that actually came with the machine. Put that back in. Okay, so two handles for one machine. I say that's pretty fancy. Cleaning towel. A little bit of a brush, also always a good thing to have in general. More cleaning, I guess, for the grinder. So both of these really kind of useful when it comes to cleaning different grinders. That's a good thing. There's actually so much stuff here. I don't really know where to look. This is something very heavy. Okay. So this is a distribution tool. Wow. Okay, so kind of a standard, slightly old school. I mean, not so many professional baristas are using these anymore, at least not in this kind of shape and form. But yeah, traditional distribution tool, kind of cool. We let's keep on seeing what we can find. So this clearly looks like a tamper. Oh, and this is kind of exciting because this is actually sort of a force tamper model, right? So it actually regulates then the depth of the tamping. It kind of looks pretty sleek design-wise as well, don't mind that. And obviously a size that fits perfectly into the portafilters, so kind of a nice tamper. Flat as well, so like, you know, you can use this in a world championship easily. It's gonna brew good espresso, no doubt about that. Let's see what this is. This looks like a cup. Feels like a cup. It's a little steam jug. This is kind of really interesting. I don't think I ever quite, to be fair, I haven't really unboxed a lot of espresso machines, or home brewing espresso machines, but it's kind of cool to see that they have just about everything here. This, I'm assuming, is for the machine itself. It's like a plastic thing. I apologize for the noise. So like a plastic screen thing, I guess, goes on top of the machine. We'll figure that out when we actually pop out the machine. Here we have something that very much looks like a bean hopper. Pretty sure it is, yeah. A little bit of a mechanism in the front as well, I guess, just to open and close for the beans. We'll see what that is when we get there. Here we have what looks like a tapping mat, which it is. Pretty much a kind of a standard shaped tapping mat. You kind of have to hand it to these guys, like they really thought about a lot of things. Okay, so something else. I'm assuming these are for some kind of steam wand, maybe for the machine. So it's going to be a little bit of assembling. Okay, so I just cleared this layer. We're going to have to clear another layer. This is definitely going to be a bit messy because this is the heavy part, I'm assuming. I'll see if I can actually pull this up. If nothing else, it's going to be fun for you guys to see Patrick trying to get a box out of there. I think I'm actually going to take this down on the floor. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lift it up. That's how we do it. So if anyone wondered why we don't do unboxing videos, this is why, because it doesn't look so sexy. Anyhow, we almost have ourselves an espresso machine here. We have a cable moving here. We'll take in these off. There we go. Okay, so this is at some point gonna look really professional, I'm sure, but at this point it's a bit messy. Okay, so we're going like baby blue. That's kind of cool. I did not choose the color, but that's okay. So here we are. It almost looks like an espresso machine at this point, which is kind of exciting. We're gonna make sure to strip all of it before we do anything differently. Let's see. Here we go. Cool. I guess we're just gonna lift this out. Yeah. Nice. We do apologize for the mess, but it kind of comes with the territory here. I'm gonna see if I can do this in a way. Okay, so first glance on the grinder, because I can see the burst now as well. We're going to give you guys some close-ups. This is a really tiny grinder. Like in the world of grinders, this is a really small grinder. Conical burst, probably one of the smallest burst heads I have ever seen. So I'd be quite curious to see how that performs, especially with like a lighter roasted April coffee then, right? This might be a challenge, I would say, but kind of interesting. We're gonna take off what I guess is the cover for the drip tray. Here we go. So, I mean, really a lot of things to consider here. I can see they have a pretty sizable kind of drip tray tank, which is nice. There's something more underneath here, which would be the water tank, I'm assuming. Which looks like we're at least above a liter, maybe up to 1.5, which is more than enough, I think. Cool. See if we can put this back in. That kind of clicks in really satisfying, which is kind of cool. I appreciate that. And then this is in as well, I'm assuming. Okay, cool. So from here, we're gonna kind of walk you through a little bit about the different parts of the machine here. Again, I haven't actually used this machine yet, so I can't really tell you too much, but I'm assuming this goes on here, which looks about right. And this goes on here, also looks about right. So a few interesting things to kind of think about is that we're looking at two screens. So basically a screen for the grinder itself. Here we can adjust actually RPMs. They have up to 8 different settings. We can adjust grind by weight. So we can actually decide, okay, we're gonna grind out 18 grams of coffee. And that's gonna be pretty accurate. At least that's what they say. We obviously have to test it to kind of be more specific. But again, you can regulate RPM, you regulate grind size and the actual dose, which is quite advanced. But I can see that the burst head here is really tiny. So, let's see what comes out of this. Another screen where you can go into different profile modes. You can run it manually as well. You can set whatever pressure you want to. You can design different kind of pressure and profile curves as well, which is kind of cool. We're gonna have quite a lot of fun with that when we brew, I think. This kind of steam wand is a bit interesting, and I've never used anything like it, but this actually runs then on basically infrared measurements. So we're gonna actually control and see live the temperature, I guess, when we're steaming. So I'm pretty excited to actually see that. I'm gonna see if we can pop this on, or if it's something we have to think about. Maybe not. Okay, this is for sure this way. Here we go. Cool. So again, fun to take or build something that's completely new. So some kind of instructions here. Obviously read all the instructions, which I haven't really done, but of course you should do in general. We're gonna take this off if we can. Make everything look a little bit nicer. But in general, I have to say, I mean, you're going with this kind of 80s, 70s flower pot kind of design to it. It almost looks like a tiny Fiat car or something like that. But quite interesting design-wise. This clearly goes in here, I realize. And I guess this goes in here. Huh. Okay, so successfully unboxed our first espresso machine. That's something, right? Clearly there's a lot of gear here, which is kind of fun. We already walked you through some of them. Of course, this video is just to give you kind of an first look at what is it that we're going to be working at. Then I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks to just kind of go in deep with this and try to figure out as much as I can, brew as much as I can, and then do a video where we just share, okay, but this is how we're actually using it. So this is video number 1 of 2. I recommend obviously you watch both of them. This is going to be kind of fun. I think just off the bat, I'm a little bit impressed in general with like all the gears. Design-wise is maybe not my vibe, but it's clearly very well equipped. I'm a bit concerned with the size of the bursts. They look really small, which is not a good thing. And conical, of course, but I'm excited for the different pressures. This is then a little scale as well, which you can use, which is again runs automatic. So it's clearly an espresso machine where someone have given a lot of thought, invested a lot of tech. They're keeping a clear eye on what people are doing in the industry on the kind of professional side of things. So I'm really interested to see how this whole thing just stacks up in the world of kind of espresso brewing, right? So that was all for kind of this video. If you have used this, if you have this, if you've done a video with this, I don't know, we're super curious to hear what you think. Maybe you have some tips and tricks before we kind of move into brewing mode with this. And yeah, we're looking forward to do at least one more video, maybe another one, just to kind of have a closer look. And who knows, maybe we'll get another espresso machine in to kind of do a battle and compare a little bit. But either way, this is like the first step to do more espresso focused content, because we love espresso here at April. And as always, we want to make sure that you subscribe to what we do, comment. It's a lot more fun. We're building a community. Again, Patreon is going to get at least one of these, so check in on Patreon if you haven't already. With that, we just want to say thank you for watching and have a good day. We want to give a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It's because of you that we are able to continue to make these videos. And we want you all to feel free to always come with suggestions and ideas on the content that you want to see, because we are doing this for you and because of you. Thank you from all of us here at April.